Guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I want to talk about some of the things that I have been doing differently since my last job, since I got let go from my last job, and some of the things that I wasn't very good at or didn't really put in much effort into doing at my last job, and how I've now taken the time to really understand those things and what it really means and how to make it better, and how I have been doing better now that I got my current role. So, over the course of my unemployment, I have understood these four things that I'm going to go through that I've learned that I now have gotten to a better place with through growth over that unemployment time period. So here are some of those things. All right, so one of the complaints that my previous boss had was that I didn't take enough initiative, take on more before even being asked to do it, or just thinking ahead of the game in preparation, and being more communicative of what's going on before it's even asked of me, because I already know it's going to be asked. So let me go ahead, get ahead of it, and just answer the question or whatever the case may be. I just wasn't taking initiative, right? And it took me a while to really understand what that exactly meant. I felt like, well, I'm already doing enough work. Like, what more do you want me to just take on and put on my plate just to show that I'm taking the initiative and you didn't even ask me to do these things? But it's not necessarily just doing more work that taking initiative is. It's just kind of foreseeing what is going to be needed and preparing that ahead of time, even without being asked, pretty much is what I got from it. So now in my new current role, this is how I took initiative. So I work at a bank and there is a debit card machine. So anytime a customer needs a new debit card, we can print it out on the spot, right? But obviously, the more people use it, it gets low, and yeah, you run out of cards. So we were getting low because it does give you a message when the cards are getting low. But most people are just like, okay, whatever. The card machine is getting low. They're just like, all right, whatever. They just keep moving on. And when it gets low and we run out of cards, then we just run out of cards. And then at that point, then we'll just refill it then. But this was one of those days where I knew it was going to be a busy day. So as soon as I got there, I opened in the morning and I thought about this. And I was like, you know what? Maybe we should fill up the debit card machine. I know we've been seeing it's been low for a while, but I think this is the time that we should really fill it up, because it's probably going to be a busy day, and it just is going to be harder to do it when there's customers, when there's people that are waiting in line, and other people are busy because you have to go with another individual in order to get the debit cards out of the vault. You can't go by yourself, so it just takes somebody else out of helping a customer at that time, while there's already going to be a line of customers waiting. So I was like, you know what, let's just fill the debit card machine now so that we can avoid the whole hassle of trying to run around and get one when we need it when we're already busy. So the senior banker was like, that's a good idea, actually. Let's do it. Let's fill the cards up before it gets busy today. So we went, got the cards, filled them up, and I was like, okay, good. Now we're good to go. And she was like, wow, like, I love that. I love that you actually took the time, even though it took a little bit more time out of our morning, but it probably saved us a lot of headache in the long run. The fact that you took that initiative to look ahead and foresee and prepared for the day by just doing that simple task. And she actually bragged to our like market manager about how, oh, she's like takes initiative, like she thinks ahead. And I was like, wow, I couldn't believe it. Me, the person who in my last job, like, unheard of. And now here I am. All right, so the next one is organizational skills. Whew, man, this is not my strong suit. I've never really been a naturally super organized, everything put together, labels type of person. I've always been more of a go with the flow type of person. Some may call it a type B, a little bit more lax when it comes to things. But I realized that in a fast paced corporate environment like the one I was in, obviously that was not going to work, okay, whatsoever. So I quickly learned that. And one of the spots that really was tough for me was my mailbox. the inbox on my Outlook, it was just crazy. I had emails, junk emails mixed with really important emails. I remember my first couple months of working there, maybe two, three times I missed the same important email that I was supposed to action, and I overlooked it because I had so much mess in my inbox, so many messages that were still just left there, half of them unread because it was just so much. So I realized one of the biggest organization tools I found that helped me is organizing my inbox. So coming into this next job experience here at the bank, I immediately, as soon as I started there, I started filtering out my emails. So you can create folders in your email and then choose what kind of emails go in each folder by using like either email address or using the subject line. So now anything that I scan to myself goes in a separate scan folder so they don't get mixed in with the rest of the emails. Anything that comes from my boss goes into a specific folder so I know exactly where to find it. So it's not mixed into the mess of other emails. So filtering my inbox has helped so much to be able to not overlook emails so I can actually get things done that I have been asked to do. Okay, one of the other things that I learned that would definitely help me be a better employee was to reduce procrastination. And it sounds so obvious. Like, obviously, you can't procrastinate. You just got to do it and just get it done. But I think it was also just being overwhelmed with a lot of things and just not knowing what to tackle first. And so I just decided to not, I guess, tackle anything or just continue to do what I was already doing because I was just overwhelmed of just what to do, which also comes with prioritizing, which is another thing. But let's just stick to procrastination. Okay. So that's one of the things I definitely took with me into my next role is to make sure I just don't procrastinate, especially in this role where you have customers that are coming in and it's like constant. So whenever you have to get something done, you just got to get it done because a customer is walking through those doors in the next 5 seconds. So you might as well scan that document real quick to yourself. Once the customer sits down and they're filling out their deposit slips, you save that file, put it in a folder, so at least you have that part done. And then once you finish with that customer, boom, you already have it scanned, saved. Now you just gotta upload it to where you need to upload it to. So I just learned, even taking the first couple of steps to get the process done right away, it helps so much. It's night and day to just not leave it till later. I'll just do it later. I'll do it after. And then it ends up getting really busy. And now you got a line of customers and you can't do anything. So when you had that downtime, you're like, I should have done it when I had that little bit of downtime. So it's always better to just do it right then and there. Even if it's part of the process, just get it started right away. Another thing that I really learned that I'm still learning is efficiency. And efficiency comes with figuring out processes to make things a little bit easier on yourself. So that's something that can go in so many directions. One of those things is the use of mail merge in order to pre-fill documents. That really saved so much time and energy by doing that. And coming into my current role, I try to make sure I was as efficient as possible when it comes to everything I'm doing. So I would start to pre-fill certain documents. So certain documents you need the branch location, the branch number, the branch, things that just don't change when you're at that particular location, right? So I will already pre-fill that information so that when a customer needs that document or needs to sign something, when I print it out, it already has half of the form already filled out. So that's something that saves a lot of time when future customers are coming in, when you already have things pre-filled. So that's one thing I have started doing now in this role. So another thing that I implemented when I ended up getting the 2-month part-time job at the gym, there was a daily checklist that we had to go through to make sure with the equipment that things were picked up, the bathrooms were checked, floors were swept here, whatever the case may be, these machines are wiped down, and we would have to check off daily the things that we did. And each day was a different sheet of paper. So here in my mind, thinking efficiently, trying to utilize the skill sets that I learned over my unemployment time, I ended up reducing the one page for each day into a document that actually had each day lined up on one page. So I could fit a whole week on one page instead of having one day for each page, and still have a font that is able to read and not too tiny. So when the manager ended up coming in, I kind of showed him how I reduced the amount of paper that we're using by putting everything on one sheet the full week. And he was like, "Oh wow, you made this up like yourself?" I was like, "Yeah, I found the document and I went in and I had some time. I just kind of started editing it and made it a little bit more easier, save paper, and it's a little more efficient to just have it on one page now." And he was like, "Oh wow, nice. Thank you. Like I appreciate that you went out of your way to do that. It was a great job, basically." And I was like, "I'm getting a great job now. Before I was getting a why are you still here?" Now I'm getting a great job. Like this is crazy. So those are just four of the things that I implemented going into this new experience to help prevent the outcome that I had at my last job of being let go. So I'm really glad I strengthened those skill sets because it definitely turned into a positive result with my current role. So, yeah, guys, I just wanted to share that because I've come a long way and you guys have been on this journey of me being fired from my job, being unemployed, trying to learn these skill sets, kind of losing hope in the whole work environment, but taking the time to really better my skills and realize that it doesn't have to be that bad. If I strengthen the skills, it can make things easier for myself in the workplace. So hopefully you guys find this video helpful, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.